Hey everyone, welcome back. We are going to do something pretty interesting today, I think. What I'd like to do is create or test drive a character select menu. Just purely TDD. We did the level select already, so this should largely be the same thing, but at least we can kind of start it by a failing test all the way to finishing it out and then just wire up the components afterwards. So that's kind of the dream. So we're going to give it a shot so we can kind of get started here. So I will jump into VS Code and we are going to, inside our scripts here, we will go ahead and find a good spot for this. So in fact, I'm just going to go to the unit tests portion actually, and we're going to get that rolling there. And let's see, edit mode tests. So we have this level select set of tests. It's got a test fixture, etc., etc. You know, I kind of want to do the same thing. We do need the tests to bind up, so we're gonna just do like character select menu tests, right? And we should be able to kind of get started from there. So we'll go there. None of this is bound up, so there might be some compiler issues because it's not part of the project, quote unquote. So I'm just gonna jump over here real fast to make that compile. And what it'll do is it'll rebuild the C# project so that the file is actually recognized by the system. So we are going to just very quickly start ourselves out with a prefab. And I just wanted to copy that out because I wanted to kind of get a good starting point. So this is going to be the character select menu. So that's going to be kind of the parent object anyway. We are going to generate that class. We're going to want it to be public. We're going to want it to be a mono behavior. And yeah, definitely we want the Unity engine. We don't want all that. And yeah, so getting started there. Asset database using the editor. Great. We also are not inside of a test yet. So let's go ahead and make a test. And I'll just say public void test. What do we want to test about our character select menu? So I imagine we've recently selected a level and now we jump to selecting a character. And so we probably want a list of characters coming from a scriptable object, that sort of deal. So I think this is going to be, test character select menu displays all character options, right? Maybe like a little bit of description, so on and so forth. So put that in there. All right, so we have our game assets preview level select. So this is going to be something like character select, and then select menu, prefab. I don't know why it's just wrapping it around for us here. Okay. Convert level select menu. Yeah, okay. We don't know that implicit conversion. All right, so arrange act assert. So our arrange is just going to be everything there. We are going to run the on enable on the menu prefab. On enable. And we know that that's going to probably be, we just want this to compile. And then we are going to assert some things. So, you know, very similar to our level select menu. We are going to do that. So let's go ahead and, oh yeah, we do have to instantiate it first, and then as the second part of our setup. So we're just going to say var menu equals instantiate, our game object dot instantiate dot Unity engine dot instantiate menu prefab. So that will give us an instance of what we loaded out of the asset database. Maybe we could put this on a constant and then say character select menu prefab path, right? Yeah, that's looking pretty good. And our assertion is going to also be very similar to before. Maybe we want the character items, the parents, to show up. And yeah, so we're going to just want to prove for our first unit test here that we are putting a bunch of character options on the screen. And yeah, so we can just go from there. So let's see, assert dot r equal menu dot, and then we're going to say, let's see, menu options parent transform, and dot, so we can iterate over it. I don't know if we can do, all right, so transform, and we will do this and go back, dot menu transform, and we are going to child count. Actually, assert true greater than 0. All right, so very simple test to get us kind of starting to write some code. Yeah, and we need to create, you know, probably this this folder and that prefab and so on. So let's go do that to make it pass. So first, we're just going to show that it fails. Run tests. There is our new test. We are going to go ahead and create a folder all the way up there. We are going to create a new prefab. And what did we say we're going to call them? That one? Yeah. All right, so before it was just saying the object you want to instantiate is null. This should change now. We'll just copy the path of that prefab just in case we got it wrong. Yeah. Run all. Method object you want to instantiate is null. Probably because there's nothing in here. So let's go ahead and just create a panel. What did we do for our backgrounds for our other buttons? So we have a level button here, inspector. So we've got an image in the back, a button component, aspect ratio filter. So yeah, maybe we just want to make sure that we have all of those things. So we're just going to go ahead and put something in here for now to get the test passing an image. All right, so that looks good. Run the tests again. Nope, didn't exist. Object you want to instantiate is null. Why? Should be very similar to our other test. Level select prefab, or just, because we are trying to pull it out of that using the character select menu. So this requires a character select menu to be on the prefab. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. So inspector, we're going to add one of those. And that can't be done unless our code for the character select menu is inside of our project. We're going to move project to the root folder, undo that for sure. So rather than being in there, we're going to go inside UI scripts, inside menus, create a new folder, character menu, bam, throw it in there. All right, go back over here, make sure that that compiles. Run all. And now system argument, the object you want to instantiate is null. And that's because it's not in here yet. So we're going to throw that on there. Hello, there we go. And then our test should show that we have a null transform. Unassigned reference exception. Yep, great. So then we're going to jump in here and we're going to assign that to something. So we're going to just create an empty object and then just say menu items parent transform. And we're going to also have that be in there. So fascinating. We probably do need to convert this to a rect transform instead, based on the canvas environment. So I don't know how that prefab got created differently, but let us, so I don't know if we can fix this here or not. Reset property, copy, paste, reset. We can't remove it. Yeah, we might be stuck creating it from the canvas. So let's go ahead and go back and do that. So in here, we have the level select menu. So in the canvas, we just create a UI image, then turn that into a prefab, and then delete the original. And then this character select menu can go away. Oops, let's grab its name first. And now we can see that it's in the canvas environment. It has that. I should find out how to do that correctly. We're going to go ahead and create another empty game object as a child, and we are going to call this game object, let's see, menu item parent transform. And we're going to drop that in there. We are going to run the tests again. And now we have true but was false, right? And that lines us up to create a whole bunch of stuff. But first of all, I think all we need to do on enable is make sure that something gets instantiated and put on that transform, and then we'll kind of continue on in another video after this. So we're going to say var menu item equals new game object, and we're just going to add that as a menu item dot transform dot parent equals that transform. So that'll get us passing, and then we can write our next failing test or expand our test to fail further. Let's see, we did not get there. Let's see, on enable, our child count should be greater than 0. So menu item, new game object. Maybe we should have a prefab of some kind. So we're going to just say public character menu item prefab. And we'll go ahead and instantiate that. Game object for now. And let's see, we can just say instantiate that and then set its transform parent. Yeah. Drop that in there. We're gonna run. There'll be an unassigned reference. Go in here. And for now, let's see. We can kind of create a button maybe. Create a UI element. We'll make it maybe a button with TextMesh Pro. We'll drop it in there for now. And then we can go ahead and add this button here. It should instantiate it and parent it. Run the tests. Save. And let's see. So that should have become the parent. Run all. Segment parent of transform, which resides in a prefab asset, is disabled to prevent data corruption. Because, well, we had to instantiate it, the menu item, because we are telling menu, oh yeah, menu prefab. We're not calling on enable on menu prefab. Thank you very much, Unity. That was a good find. Hey, all our tests pass. All right, so like, subscribe, comment. I'll make some follow-up videos to this so you can see where this goes, and I look forward to chatting with you some more. Bye, everybody.